What's up, you guys? Infinite Space News here. Snapple fact of the day: you blink 10 million times a year. Honestly, I thought it was more than that. Alright, first of the news, we have the air leak on the ISS. Now, I forgot to mention yesterday that the air leak was not actually found, specifically where it was. They only found the module that it was in. So I'm still hoping that they actually find exactly where the air leak is so they can repair it. So good luck to you astronauts on the ISS. Hope you don't screw this up. Alright, next in the news. I feel like we've been talking about the ISS and ULA recently, but ULA once again has aborted their mission. And this time they actually aborted it at T-minus 7 seconds into the launch, because of a computer problem in their rocket. So ULA and the ISS are like the top news this week. I'm just saying, space for space things anyway. Mainly ISS. We got a lot to talk about with them later on in this video, so make sure you stay tuned for that. But next in the news, we have quite an interesting thing that's going to be put on the ISS, at least probably, and that is a $23 million space toilet. Now this space toilet is being tested at NASA right now, but the interesting thing about this is that not only does it cost so much, but it actually is pretty revolutionary. It's made of titanium. It's much smaller than the space toilets that are up there today, and it's actually suited better for women to sit on it. So all those are really cool things, and I think this is very cool. Because if you think about it, toilets are actually a very big necessity if the human race is going to be going up into space. Because, you know, if there's no toilets, like, what are we going to do? And so it's actually very good that they're making these like waste systems to use on different spaceships, really. Right now it's being used on the ISS, and it's probably going to be used in many other spaceships. So this is a good sign, in my opinion, that we are advancing to become multi-planet species. That didn't make sense, but you know what I mean. Alright, next in the news is a interesting website that pops up recently, actually, and that is called Planet Patrol. Now, what this website is for is what I find very interesting, and I think a lot of you guys will like it. It's basically a website in which astronomers, like professional astronomers, partner with civilians, and they basically give us like these high resolution pictures, or maybe not high resolution, but pictures of the surrounding night sky, basically all the space around us, and the civilians are meant to help find exoplanets, among other things, I believe. But I thought this was very cool that there's a mashup with civilians and astronomers that were working together. So if you guys want to check that out, I'd highly suggest it. I'm not sponsored by them or anything, but I think it's really cool that the Planet Patrol is giving such an opportunity to all the people in the world. I don't think it's just in America. I think it's everywhere, but don't quote me on that. Alright, next in the news, we have SpaceX. Now, SpaceX, Elon, I have a bit of a complaint for you. Because SpaceX has delayed their Starlink launch again. I believe they delayed it 2 weeks ago, and it's still being delayed. So, Elon, what the heck are you doing, man? Now, this is not necessarily criticism. Elon always makes claims that are usually not true, but like 2 weeks, come on now, what you doing? But I figured I always just like to keep you guys informed of what's going on in SpaceX, because it is, after all, in my biased view, one of the best space companies in the entire world. But that's just my opinion. So that's why whenever there's a chance I see anything at least a little bit significant, I would definitely tell you. But yeah, I figured I'd just tell you that, because Elon, you're falling behind recently. What's going on? Alright, next in the news, we have two very interesting stories. First up is the Russian, two new Russian modules being added to the ISS. This is happening April of next year, 2021. And this is quite an interesting thing, in my opinion, because I don't think this actually means anything significant, like the Russians are going to be departing from the ISS or anything like that, but I just thought it was quite interesting that they're making 2 new modules, as if they're sort of trying to separate. I feel like the ISS is a good example of all the nations in the world, or at least the top nations in the world, collaborating in something, which you don't see very much of these days. But the next story I really want to talk about, which is related to this, is also China making their own space station. Now, you guys remember this from a few videos ago that I did mention that China was making their own space station. They have now recruited 18 astronauts for their space station, and this is, as far as I can tell, going to be independent from the ISS. So this is kind of scary to me, because this could be leading to a possible, how do I say, like a deconstruction of the ISS. Perhaps countries will not want to be together anymore, which would honestly be a very big problem, because already we are seeing around the world that countries are not liking each other, especially Russia, China, and the US. And those are some big names that are on the ISS, and you can imagine that the countries might not want their astronauts together. So I want you guys to tell me in the comments below what you think about this. Do you think that there will be multiple space stations for each country? And do you think that the ISS might not be international anymore? Do you think it's just going to become maybe the US's space station? Or, I don't know, Russia's space station? What do you guys think? Please tell me in the comments below. I personally think this is a very bad sign, and I'm very worried about it. But I'd like to hear what you guys' opinions are on this. And also leave your opinions on anything else in this video that you'd like to, and make sure you subscribe so you don't miss all these wonderful news videos, and maybe leave a like if you want to. And yeah, that's all I got for you guys today, so I will see you next time, and bye for now.